I was looking on there. I was like, Tiny Zeus Lidster. When the heck did you run into Zeus? But that's pretty interesting. You know what I mean? Like that's something I don't think I've ever heard before. You and Zeus crossing paths.
Yeah, yeah. And this was in Thailand in 2001. I went there to film this movie, Black Mask 2. And the conditions were not favorable to the seasoned, actor. He had lots of reasons to complain, but I was really happy. Man, this is awesome. I'm doing martial arts movie in Thailand. They're paying me, good. I'm working with Wu Ping, who created the cable stunts in Matrix. Where you're flying all over. I was really excited, but it was a third world country. It was dirty. We had to get tetanus shots before we went there. We were told we couldn't eat any food that had already been opened. It had to be right out of the package. Or if we were in a really nice restaurant, that was an exception. But we couldn't open your mouth in the shower, none of that. So I tell a story when I'm talking. I'm not really sure. I don't remember exactly what I the value was that I talk about in that one. But what I will always remember was he was so miserable, and probably rightfully so. I remember when we went to eat, and I'm looking at the fruit and stuff, going, there's flies all over it, and I'm going, I don't see how we're gonna. And he was just like, we can't eat this shit. My mama can't make me eat this. And it was like, he's right. And then he's like saying, our hotel needs to be condemned. And he heard that it was condemned and they were going to be tearing it down, and he needed to stay somewhere else. And he was just always complaining the whole time, which he had a right to, but at the time I could have seen him as, not someone I really enjoyed working with, and it got to a point where he rubbed off on me. And made me react in a way where I exploded on the crew because they had fucked up. I ended up face down in a mud puddle after we talked about how everything was going to go, and he was like, "You let them know. You can't let them get away with that." And he fired me up, and so I'm like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And then right away I was like, "That's not me." You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, that's him. And I got to control my own reactions to what happened and to what the way that he's acting, and so these are things that I love to tear apart.
And with Zeus, it was different angles, which is true. Like his different angles, and then you ended up having a little bit of different perspective, like you mentioned. So very cool. Like the ideology of RVD, if you will, RVDology. It's very interesting to kind of get in your head.
At the time, I was thinking, man, this guy's an asshole. I even wanted to fight him at one time, because we had some words. I was talking about wrestling in ECW, and this was 2001. If you remember, I was in an intersection where I could have gone any way I wanted. WWE wanted me, WCW wanted me. I wanted ECW to survive, so I wouldn't have to go there. Well, I guess Tiny thought that I was bragging and full of shit and bullshitting, but I was just stating the way it was. And he reacted in a way, saying, I don't know nothing about no ECW. All I know is that when Hulk Hogan walk in the room, men get down on their knees. Grown men on their knees when Hulk Hogan walk into the room. That's all I know. And I was like, he's trying to offend me, I think, but I don't disagree. I mean, Hulk Hogan's the man. I get that. But it wasn't until one of the guys told me later they thought I was full of shit until they saw me on TV. And they were like, oh, my God, he is the whole fucking show. Like, why would I lie and bullshit? But a lot of people would, I guess. I wouldn't, but a lot of other people would. So I went from thinking like, man, this guy's been a pain in the ass, the worst negative energy on the set, let's get him out of here, to now seeing a bigger picture. I look at it like he had his own experience there, couldn't wait to get off the movie. He left after 5 days, and he was probably promised a hell of a lot more than was delivered. Hey.